What is up, Yo, stop pushing me. What is up, everybody? Lions Crown here. What is up, Lions Pride family? Thanks so much for joining me. Really, this video is just a little bit of a hype video because we have Monster Hunter Rise coming out and it's only 1 week away, and I'm so damn excited about it. So I figured that as someone who's been a veteran in the series for so long, I know the word veteran has become taboo for some reason, but as somebody who's played the series since its inception and who is an avid world player and a great sword main, I really wanted to go over how I feel in the transition of just the style of play, transitioning this weapon into Rise with the added mobility of the wire bugs. But it's also going to be a good guide for new players as well, so keep that in mind. Guys, if you see anything that you like, please feel free to hit that like button. And, you know, it really helps out with trying to build this YouTube community. And if you don't like something, like for real, dislike the video, but let me know what I could do better. If it's the audio, if it's a presentation, even just something about anything about the video, let me know. I really want to just get better and just give you guys some good content and just have a fun time sharing my passion with you guys. But with that said, let's get into it. So the great sword, big weapon, slow weapon, meaty boy. I love the weapon because you have a lot of other weapons in both weapons in the game that really allow you to be a lot more aggressive, right? But the great sword gives you the opportunity to just be methodical. It's a weapon that you have all these different weaker swings, but you're not going to make the most out of your weapon if you revolve your play around just swinging constantly. You really want to charge your attacks and predict what the monster is doing. You learn its patterns like with any other weapon. With the great sword, you want to be charging ahead of time where you think they're going to be or where you know they're going to be. But let's go over the moves for the great sword. So you have your 3 slashes with the X button. You have the 1, the 2, and the 3, which is a true charge slash, which I charged there. You'll notice that there was a glow. Every single swing that you do, if you hold the X button, you can charge up to 3 times. Please know that if you hold the button and charge to level 3 and you don't release the button, that attack is going to be weaker and will not reflect maximum damage. Right? So you want to release as soon as you hit 3. If you press the A button 3 times, you'll do a round swing, a tackle, and this big roundhouse slash. I don't remember what it's called. Forgive me, guys, for not remembering. But the idea is to get as much damage with true charge slash as possible. Or so it was. We'll get into what I think about how they made changes to the weapon, but let's talk about the true charge slash real quick. Veterans will know, but as you charge this move, there are 2 swings. There's that first swing and the second swing. Now, even though that first swing also hits the ground at massive strength, right? The first swing of true charged slash is actually extremely weak. It's actually, that's right there, the weakest move you have. What it really does is if you land that weak move, then the second move, your powerful move, is so much stronger, right? So you land that move so that the last hit is immensely powerful. Nothing feels better than landing that. However, as you can see, it takes a while to get there, and you'll have a lot of movement going on with these monsters, right? So a couple of different ways that you can get to that faster is by, as you're holding the X button, you can tackle with the A button, which has a couple of different uses, which I'll show you soon. But as you can see, it jumps straight to the next level charge, well, the next level swing. So the first swing, I'll tackle to the second swing and tackle to the true charged slash. One thing I will say, guys, is don't be afraid to not charge the true charged slash. Nothing is worse than getting greedy and missing, and now you're just wasting time and getting no damage. Feel free to let it go on the first or even the second charge if you can, and get that damage in. But if you can't get the last hit, always get that last hit. Another way that you can get into it is by using the mobility of the wire bugs. I'll make another video to really go over, that's my phone, excuse me, to really go over how to use the wire bugs effectively. But essentially, if you hold ZL and press X, you'll pull yourself upwards towards a monster. When you're in the air, there are 2 things that you can do, right? So aerially, you can hold the X button to further charge that weapon and do stronger attacks per charge. Or you can press the ZR button and go straight down, which is what I like to do. So if there's a monster that's downed and you really want to reach him, and I'll show you an example of this a little later against Mizutsune, you can do that. Press A and go straight to the X, and it'll take you straight to True Charge slash very quickly. I think that this is going to be a really essential way to play the game, to get in utilizing the wire bugs and the new mobility of the weapon, and just get that True Charge slash in. I'll do it one more time. You hold ZL to get the wire bug ready. You'll notice with the reticle, and you'll press X, ZR to go down quickly, A button for the round slash, and then Y. So you're going to ZLX, ZRAY. I know it's a bit of a process, but once you do it a couple of times, you'll get used to it. Now, one thing I want to talk about with this tackle is that the tackle does knockout damage. Knockout damage, which is much more better utilized in other weapons like the sword and shield and the hammer, can knock out a monster if you keep on blocking them in the head. You can do that with the tackle. You can also, the tackle tanks a hit. So where in other Monster Hunter games, while you're charging, you can get hit, and then suddenly you're out of play for a second. In Monster Hunter World, they introduced this tackle so that you can eat and tank a hit, which I will show you as well. You won't be invincible, but you'll take dramatically less damage from that attack, regardless of what it is. And you can stay in the fight and continue to try to get your slashes in. As you're charging, it actually also charges the damage of your tackle. This is something that a lot of people actually don't know, even in World, and which really surprised me. If you charge to level 3, that tackle will be as strong as possible. Same thing here, charge to level 3, and that tackle is going to be stronger, and of course do more knockout damage as well. Lastly, is after the tackle, if you press A again, you get that big slash. In Monster Hunter World, that slash was your second strongest attack right after True Charged Slash. I did a video on it back in the World demo, and it's still true for the for the remainder of the game. So if you charge to level 3, you do tackle and press it again, you'll see that the sword stood glowing. So charging your weapon with X not only passes on the charge to the tackle, but to the spin slash after it. Now, there's a big difference in this game, whereas before, when you tackled into that big round slash, it used to do the second strongest hit to one spot. In this game, they changed it up completely, and to be honest, I'm really not sure how I feel about it. I kind of don't like it. Greatsword mains, let me know how you feel below about the change to the weapon. And if you didn't know about it, I'm about to explain. So, the strongest hit of the weapon is actually uncharged when you do that move. So if I don't charge and just do a tackle into that move, I think I charged once there, but if you just do this, well, yeah, the weakest one, that's going to do the most damage for that move. If you charge it to level 2, it'll do less damage than not charging it, but it'll hit twice in 2 different spots. And if you charge to level 3, it does even less damage, but it hits 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'll show you guys that as well. My issue with the change to this move is that I get that it does the most damage if you hit all 3 hits, but you can also miss a critical spot. For example, there have been moments where I've charged 3 times, I tackled a Raytheon's face, and the first 2 hits will hit his face for 41, her face for 41 damage, but the last hit goes into the legs and just doesn't get you critical damage, it gets you gray. And for new players, if you don't know, the yellow numbers is when you know you're doing a critical hit on a monster's weak spot, and if it's gray, it's not their weak spot. That's not to say never go for gray, because you could trip the Rathian if you keep attacking her legs. But yeah. So it's strange that if I manage to get 3 hits on the face, it'll go 40-44 to give you about 120 to 123 damage. But if you just do it uncharged, you get 70, like anywhere between 60 and 80. And that means that in terms of an individual hit, guys, if you really just want to get the hit in, feel free to go straight into that move without charging. And that's probably how I'm really going to utilize the weapon more often until later, monsters where I know I can get all 3 hits in because the part I'm trying to cut is big. But even then, you're only going to do that if you can't get the true charged slash in. So keep that in mind to new and old players alike. You're still going to go for the true charge slash when you can, but if you can't, make sure that that big swing is going to hit 3 times towards the part that you want, or if you don't mind, just doing whatever damage you can. The issue is, while that does to the Rathian about 120 if all 3 hits hit her in the face, just charging the first hit, which is really easy to do, does more than 120. So it really doesn't incentivize me to use that move at all outside of the regular strongest hit based on the 1 hit it'll do. Since it's not charged, it only does 1 hit. It's just really weird that they made that choice, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I used to love that move, and right now I kind of don't. Oh. Nope. I'm trying to teach a lesson. Well, guys, other than that, I'm pretty sure that's everything I could think of for the Greatsword. Oh! I forgot to go over the wire bug moves, the silk binds. So, I should also mention that with the tackle, you can break through roars, right? Whatever, she's going to hit me real quick. Let me see if I can show you guys something. So, using the wire bug move, which is going to be your favorite move with ZL and A, while your weapon is out, you're going to dash out the way, which is an amazing evasive maneuver that the Greatsword now has. But you'll notice that this blue flame is now around your arm. That's because every time you do the ZL and A, right, your damage goes up for approximately 20 seconds, which is absolutely amazing. You're going to want to do this the whole time, and since the wire bug charge really comes back so quick, it really allows you to maintain that buff for the entirety of the match. Like, I'm getting a little beat right here because I'm trying to show you guys something else, and Mizutsune seems to just not care, and, get out my face, Mizutsune. But I guess while we're here, I'll go over the other move, which I think is less effective, which is that you'll pull yourself towards a monster. If 1 hit lands, you can actually charge the ZR in the air, which you can't do normally. You can only charge it if you're doing the move off of the silkbind attack, as far as my testing has, shown me. Or you could do the regular charge with X up to 3. But yeah, guys, basically, I can't help but feel like in this game, we're more incentivized to use the regular attacks based on the speed added to the game than anything else. For example, when a monster is downed, you really don't have enough time to safely charge all of your moves. Sure, in a moment like this with the Azeroth I can, but generally they get up so quickly that in World, you used to be able to basically charge every one of your 3 swings up to level 3 and land all of it. In Rise, they just get up so quickly because the pace of the game is just that much more sped up. And with the addition of this silkbind move to charge up your attacks, I can't help but feel like Rise wants you to spend more time focusing on a variety of your moves to just further expand your playstyle and your options than it does want you to focus on true charge slash. I think it wants you to take your hits, get out the way as quickly as you can and keep on going. Generally, I'm not sure how I feel about it as someone who's spent all of World and Iceborne going to True Charge slash and figuring that out. It's been so amazing. I can't help but think that maybe with Focus, it'll feel, for those of you who of course don't know, are new players, Focus is a skill that you get from armor and charms and decorations that will let you charge your greatsword and any weapons that has a charge anywhere between 15 to 20% faster. I think it's 15 in World, 20% in older games. But basically, other than that, I'm not sure how we are expected to truly play this game. And lastly, if you don't know, just in terms of riding the monsters, when monsters hit each other or you do enough aerial attacks or silkbind attacks to a monster, you can ride that monster and then fight the opposing monster. I think it's a real fun move. I know a lot of people don't like riding in general, but in my opinion, you spend a lot of time mounting a monster doing 1 damage anyway, so I don't feel like we're losing out much by having more control in our mounts. I think it just adds more fun to the game. You can also just press Y to launch your monster into the other monster and then continue doing damage. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the weapon. I feel like it's made to incentivize other moves and not just go for those. Look at that 323. How do you not want to go for that damage? And that could have been higher because I don't think I had the the wire bug move on that the silkbind attack. Excuse me, I really need to learn what it's called. This one that powers you up, so that would have been even more of a higher number. But yeah, with that said, let me know what you guys think about the change of the weapon. But let's get into some of the things that I was discussing before. Let's start right here, where I do a level 3 charge into a level 3 tackle and spin slash. Now you'll see that I ended up doing 42, 42, and 27 damage, as opposed to not charging it and immediately doing 73 damage. Now that single hit of 73 is stronger than the others. But of course, you get more damage by charging the level 3. Mind you, I missed. That 27 could have also been a 42 if I placed it better. So let's say 42, 42, and 42. That's 126 points of damage. Which, yeah, you may be like, yo, Crown, that's better than the 73. And yeah, it is better than the 73, but I messed up, right? For all that risk-reward effort of timing and spacing, right here, without doing any of that, your regular X charge, your first charge slash, does 14 points more damage from 126 to 140. Which further makes me question the reasoning of why they changed the move from the second strongest move in your arsenal to just weaker than your regular charge. And with the silkbind attack, it actually does 45 points more of damage. It does 185. There is no reason at all for me to use that move really ever. And it really bothers me because I used to love it, and now it just feels unnecessary. In this clip right here, you'll see me doing the tanking tackle through the Rathian's dash attack. I absolutely love tanking moves, especially tanking a freaking fireball and getting the uncharged 72 damage right there. On top of that, the tackle, like I said before, can do knockout damage. You'll see an uncharged tackle does 29 damage and little knockout. And I missed level 3, so stop laughing. And right here you'll see that if I charge the tackle to level 3, not only are we going from 29 to 53 damage, we're also getting more knockout damage. You'll see that because of the accumulated knockout damage, here I definitely get the knockout on the Rathian, and it feels so good. It never gets tiring to just knock the monster down. And of course, like I mentioned before, if you get the knockout on him, you can get many more swings on the monster. I could have actually charged a little more, at least one more other swing and rise, but I went for it. For our new players out there, if you walk up to a monster while it's sleeping, turn directly away from it and roll. You will roll the perfect distance to turn back around in that spot and get a free true charged slash where the first swing will miss, but the second swing will land. And you'll wake them up with a real rude awakening. It's actually fantastic to land every single time. If you are the only greatsword user on your team needs to let you be the one to wake the monster up. Alright guys, for these last clips, I want to walk you guys through my mentality as I was playing, right? So I see the monsters down away, I use the wire bug to get in, drop in with the aerial. Now that I'm in, and I know he's hurt, I'm going ham. I'm using the tackle. I managed to get another knockdown with the tackle because I tanked the attack. Remember, the tackle can help you skip straight to true charged slash. Look how many times I'm tackling his face and I'm getting my maximum damage. You'll see that because I did so many tackles, I managed to get a knockout. It was, in my opinion, just the most optimal thing that could have happened. Here I use a silkbind attack, the first one I'm not a fan of, but I managed to break apart, even though it was only 42 damage. I then use the second silkbind move to get out of the way with my evasiveness and get my attack up. Pay attention to the fact that I'm not only going for true charged slash, I'm taking whatever hits I can get. Roll in, level 2 charge, knock him down. And like I told you guys before, put your weapon away, get in the air, drop with ZR, spin with A, and press X to go straight for the true charged slash. I had this man on the ropes this entire game, and generally it's about knowing when to get aggressive. Well guys, this video ended up being a whole lot longer than what I thought it was going to be, but I just had so much to say about a weapon that I love, from a series that I love, and a game coming out that I cannot wait to fall in love with. Concluding thoughts is that I'm a little concerned of how the weapon from World has transitioned into the mechanics and the speed of Rise, but hopefully they balance it out properly for the actual game, and maybe you guys can give me some tips on how to use the weapon that I haven't figured out yet. If this video helped you out at all, hit that like button. You know, help me build this community for you guys. And if you dislike it, like I told you before, dislike the video. Be honest with me and tell me what you think that I could do better. I'm going to be trying to cover different weapons. Let me know what you want to see. I'm going to be covering builds. I'm going to be covering guides on how to fight every monster that we all will end up having some issues with. I'm just so excited to get into this game, and I appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget, guys, if you want to join the Lions Crown Pride, hit that subscribe button, and more than anything, wear your crown and live your roar.